Welcome back to Behind the Bowl. My name is Brian McDonald, Director of E-commerce here at Almost Pride, and I am joined by Jane Wagman, co-founder of Pride+Groom. Jane, thank you so much for coming on. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So listen, this is, like I mentioned to you before, this is a great way for, folks to stay connected and build a community and relationships outside of shows. And, it's a great opportunity for people to sort of, hear about companies and products that they wouldn't normally hear unless they were at a show, right? So super casual. I just really want to hear more about your experience in Pride+Groom. So I'll give you the floor from here.
So Pride+Groom is a line of all natural dog grooming products, and we launched it in 2020. It's female founded, so it's me and a couple of other amazing women.
Awesome.
And we really felt like the pet space had been completely humanized in all aspects. Like, you could go to Prada or Louis Vuitton or any single store on the planet, and you could buy matching outfits for you and your dog. Everyone's using all natural, homemade foods and supplements and CBD and everything that you do for humans. Kind of, the concept of like a dog living in a dog house, like that just doesn't exist. They live in our beds, they're children. And we just felt like the only area that really didn't have brand loyalty, hadn't really been applied to, was the grooming space.
Okay.
And aside from food, the coat and the skin is the second most important kind of barrier for entry in terms of allergies and things like that. And it felt very, very strange to us that we all spent so much time on our own human products, hair, face, everything. And then we were washing our dogs with just garbage. Dawn. Some people use Dawn. They use anything. And then the dogs are getting in your bed and they're sleeping on your pillow and you're rubbing your face in it. And, it's not good for them. It's not good for you.
Sure.
It felt kind of like, wow, that's like kind of white space. And
that's
this is
awesome.
what we want to do.
That's fantastic. It's so true too, because we're in a time where people are spending more money on their pets than ever, right? They're treating them like part of the family. And that wasn't the case generations ago, right? They were treated just as, hey, this is a dog that's going to be there when I get home from work and I'll take it outside, et cetera, et cetera. Well, now it's becoming more so a part of the family. Like I just saw Bark, the owners of BarkBox and Bark are just coming out with Bark Air. So it's going to be like an airline exclusive travel for dogs.
$6,000 for you and your dog
to go from California to New York. But
okay, it's two seats. Yes,
right.
Exactly.
But
obviously there's a market. If
yes.
they're doing that there's a market.
Yes. So people are, right, like our customers are spending a lot of money on their pets' food, right? So it's sort of like counterproductive in a sense if you're spending all this money on the healthiest food possible, but then when it comes to grooming, taking the cheap way out and using, a bunch of garbage, right? So it is a very, very interesting space there. And I think that that's something that, realistically you're right, it's the missing piece of it, because if we're spending all this money on X, Y, and Z, why are we cheaping out and using garbage on, A, B, and C, right? And I think that's awesome. So can you fill me in a little bit about like the different products, the route that you go in regards to like the ingredients inside of it, and kind of give me a little bit more info in regards to the actual product?
Yeah, 100%. So then the next part of it was that we really, again, modeling after human hairlines, we really wanted it to be coat specific. So, different, like you and I, and I'm sure, there are other people on this call, like use different products for hair. People have curly hair, dry hair, oily hair, whatever, a million different needs. And we buy specific shampoo for it. And dogs are really the same. I mean, aside from having a completely different pH balance from humans, they have different needs. If you have a shedding dog, you want a shampoo that is going to you want a shampoo that's going to release the undercoat in the bath. Sorry. Oh my God. That really sucks. I don't know who that was. Someone's calling me. You want a shampoo that's going to release the undercoat in the bath. Nothing actually prevents shedding. That's not a thing. Dogs who shed are going to shed. But like we have in our shedding formula, we have marshmallow root and jojoba seed oil and these products that like loosen up the undercoat And so they shed it all out in the bath, and it actually does take longer for them to shed. And that's, we get like reviews from people. They're like, oh my God, I didn't have to take the vacuum cleaner out for 2 weeks. Like, it really makes a difference what you put,
Yeah.
if you can get rid of that hair before they get on your sofa. So we have for shedding dogs, then we have for non-shedding dogs like Doodles. We call it like the Doodle shampoo because, again, it's filled with all our products are filled with essential oils that just moisten and detangle and soften. And then we have a formula for sensitive and puppies that's just very mild. We have a universal conditioner, which just seals in the shine. And then, we have, again, modeled after human, we have an amazing dry shampoo, which is like incredible for that. Like, how many times has your dog run? I mean, mine do it all the time. They will run in from a groom or run out from a groom and roll in bird poop. I mean, it's unbelievable. They'll come back into the house after being freshly groomed and there'll be like a streak of brown down the back. And I'm like, how did that happen? So we came up with this dry shampoo because sometimes you just don't want to put your dog in the bath. And it's actually it's based on our sensitive formula. It is shampoo. It leaves no sticky residue. It's just foaming, and it cleans. And I use it. A lot of vets use that for after surgeries when dogs can't get wet, or after, something gross like an anal extraction or something like that. Or sometimes I'll wash my dogs in the bath and then I'll use it just on their snouts because I don't put water on them. So anyway, that's and there are other products in the line. We have an amazing balm for paws and snouts that's great, a heat and cold protector. We have a leave-in conditioner that detangles. It's great. We have I don't want to go get too granular. We have 2 brushes. We have the line is really high end. And and just to go back to the beginning, this whole notion of pH balance, because I'm not everything out on the market was garbage. There's some beautiful human lines, human shampoo lines that created human extension for dogs, but they didn't take into account the fact that dogs have different pH balances. So an ingredient you find in pretty much all human shampoos and many, many dog shampoos is tea tree oil, which is a great ingredient for humans, but actually toxic to dogs. So we substitute tea tree oil and we use something called niuli oil, which is a derivative of tea tree oil, but has the same beneficial benefits.
Gotcha. This is, first of all, congratulations to you guys, because what you've done in 4 years is impressive.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Obviously now your product line has increased, but what was the hardest struggle in terms of when you first started getting your product to market, right? Because obviously you have a little different pathway where you can obviously sell direct to consumer, you can sell in retail, then you can sell in vets, you can sell in grooming stations, right? There's so many different avenues. So how did you determine, hey, here's a pathway we want to take first? And what was the hardest part of first, getting your product out there and amplifying your business?
Well, we launched in 2020 in the middle of the pandemic. Obviously that wasn't intentional, and we thought there was going to be a huge educational component. We were going to have to teach people the benefits of, our product and why but there's nothing good about COVID, but everyone was already at home washing their dogs at home. So we didn't actually have to do that. And, we really thought we were just we were going to be a D2C brand. And, we made, 700 bottles of shampoo to test out. They were in one of our basements and we're sending it around to people. And then we got picked as one of Oprah's favorite things.
Awesome.
6 weeks in, which was insane. And we went from 700 bottles to 700,000 bottles and an Amazon store, and
that's remarkable.
Everything within 3 months, and that really catapulted us. And that was just, one of my partners, Regina, she literally chased a FedEx truck down the street and was like, get this to Oprah. And it was a very, very lucky break.
Wow.
And
So
that
is that, I was just
catapulted.
gonna ask, is that how it, how, like, I was just gonna ask, how did you get your product to Oprah? That's literally how you got it to her?
She again, Regina and I, we both worked in magazines. We met at Vogue a very, very long time ago. And I think she was just sitting in her house one day during the pandemic, and she was like, you know what? I kind of know Oprah's art director, creative director. I'm just gonna DM him. And she DM'd him on, Instagram, and he wrote back literally like 5 minutes later and was like, that's so funny. Like, she's actually looking for a dog shampoo. The list is closing. But listen, if you can get it to her by Saturday when she washes her dogs, who knows? If she likes it, who knows? And so she literally, it was like after the last FedEx pickup, she's like, I'm just going to get in my car. I'm just going to drive down the highway. At some point, I'm going to see a FedEx truck.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she literally like parked, saw them coming, parked, and was just like standing there, like waving, gave a whole sob story. And yeah, it was pretty amazing.
That's
And she loved
remarkable.
our product. And that was, so that just led to a lot of like just earned media and open doors. And
Sure.
and so that was great. But so again, like just sorry to not to ramble, but
No.
we really thought we were a D2C brand, and we still are a D2C brand. But what we realized is how important how much we love groomers, and how groomers are, it's like a hairstylist. They're the, they deal with the customers, they deal with the dogs all day long. And so we do a lot of work with groomers.
Gotcha.
And obviously retail stores as well. So there's sort of
Yeah.
three components to the business, because they're all kind of really, really important.
You're right.
And we
Yeah,
love them
it's
all.
spot on. I mean, just relating it to my wife, like, so my wife has been going to the same hairdresser for years. And it's like I'll notice this like every few months or like 3 times a year, where she'll get something new online, whether it's like a volumizer. And meanwhile, I'm talking about this with no
Oh
hair,
yeah,
right? So like I'm probably
yeah,
like the last person that should be talking about this.
yeah.
But yeah, she'll be like, oh, my hairdresser said that, this will help with this, right? Or like this will help with my split ends. And she just tries these different hair products literally 3 or 4 times a year. And it's all because of she's listening to her hairdresser, right? It's like
100%.
and I'm assuming that's relatable to pets.
100%. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just like her. I mean, I'm literally like, if they said, standing on my head and putting snake oil in it, I would be like, snake oil, that's a fantastic idea. Frog semen, where do I get me some frog semen? Like, whatever they want to tell me, I'm
Yes.
gonna try it. Yeah, and people, like you said at the top of the call, like, people are really serious about their pets.
Yeah,
People aren't having babies, they're just getting dogs. Like, they're
it's so
really
true.
members, they are members of the family at this point.
Yes. Yes. So spot on. Now with your products, right? Where are you in terms of like your sell point between, you and your product to the retail stores or the groomers? Do you have a sales team? Are you using like distribution channels? How are you getting your product out there to all these places?
Well, it's a great question. And I mean, right now we've done it all ourselves in-house.
Okay.
We're a startup. It's like, I'm gonna take off my designer hat, and I'm gonna put on my sales hat, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
put on my shipping hat, and then I'm gonna put on my customer service hat. And and we all wear a lot of hats. And yeah, I mean, we need salespeople, we need all of it. But at the moment, we've kind of done it all ourselves. We're looking for distribution, but that's tough, because it's like you need the right fit.
Sure.
We're a specific product.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah,
it's
sort of like us, where all the, like independent pet boutiques, independent pet stores, right? It's more of a higher end product, right? I'm assuming for the people that are serious about their dog skin and coat health, where, wouldn't move at Petco, but it would move at all these, boutique city type stores, right? And that's the same thing with us. And that was like the challenge too, because we were, let me backtrack. We're fourth generation family owned and operated raw pet food company. We started in the 50s as a poultry farm. So the great grandmother, Oma, which is grandma in German, started selling like eggs door to door. And there was a guy like on her street that essentially was moving and needed to get rid of a few turkeys. So she took the turkeys back to her farm. And next thing you know, she's got thousands of turkeys back there. She's a local like New England turkey distributor, right? So we're in
Amazing.
all the grocery stores, like really remarkable story. And then her daughter, Sandy, who was a second generation owner, in the 1990s, had a really sick dog. And she was like looking out her window, and that's why we have a wolf behind me. She saw a
Uh,
wolf that was like eating animal carcasses. And she's like, this wolf's healthy, it's happy, it's been here for years. Something's to be said about this whole eating animal thing, right? And so she started giving her sick dog at the time turkey necks, chicken necks, some like old school family turkey grind recipes. And, within a couple weeks, her dog's chasing fly balls in the backyard. All of her like allergies and ailments and all that stuff went away. So she's like, all right, something's to be said about this. And started literally making her family recipes and going door to door, and then going to these like little localized pet shows with coolers, like those old school like Coleman coolers. And that's how Almost Pride started,
Amazing.
right? It's a really, really cool family story. And now we're fourth generation. Adam is running the pet food division, but that same moral of the story is it's the same thing. We have a really high quality product, high quality ingredient product. Oh, who's that?
That's Penny, one of the
Hi,
many dogs
Penny.
in her office
Hi,
coming to say
Penny.
hi.
Hi, Penny. How old's Penny?
That's a good question. I don't know. 6?
Okay.
Penny, how old are you? I don't know. She's not mine. Otherwise, I would know. She's one of my partners. There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs, 5 dogs here
Oh,
today.
that's
There.
awesome. That is awesome.
That's a great story.
Really cool story, and it's like that was the hardest thing because we were selling online forever, and then we wanted obviously to get into retail, and there's a specific place for us to be, right, where we're not going to be in your PetSmarts or Petco's or Targets or Costco's, but all of these thousands of independent pet stores that and that's what, going back to that hairdresser thing, the pet store owners are a huge educational component in regards to the
Exactly.
products that people purchase, right? They'll listen to the local pet store owner over their vet a lot of times, right? So that it's an interesting channel, and it's a channel I think that's going to keep growing. And
Yeah.
I love the independent pet store, like,
Mm.
and a lot of them now, because there's a lot of competition. A lot of them are adding dog washing stations. They're adding daycare centers. They're encapsulating the dog business aspect within stores, where 20, 30 years ago it was just a pet store. And now you can go in there to wash your dog, get it groomed, get its nails trimmed, pick up some food, pick up some shampoo. And next thing you know, you walk out of there like 2 hours later, and it's like, what an experience. And that's that's
Yeah.
the whole reason I brought it up, because that's our exact same target market as your product, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dying to get to all those people because, yeah, like you said, like I want those people who, someone walks in and it's like, hey, Beth, what's new? And they're like, this is the best dog shampoo we're carrying. Like, yeah, like you said, like sitting in the Petco shelf next to, their private label and, other brands. Like, are people, why are they picking up Pride and Groom?
Mm,
And, there's no educational component there. There's no advocates. And I
yes,
obviously love Petco, and we are in Petco and we're doing great in certain markets. But yeah, I think
that's great though.
it's about these independent stores. And
For
I'm
sure,
like, yeah,
for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And I think and once you're in there too, a lot of these stores, from what we've noticed, is like, if they use your product, the chances of, especially the bottom line too, is if they can make their margins, obviously, but if they use their product themselves on their dogs, the chances of someone coming in there and being like, "Oh, I'm looking for a new shampoo product," like, oh, I use Pride and Groom, it's the best,
yeah,
right? And that's why I love your website too, to like transition your website when I was on it earlier. All the UGCs and reviews, and I love the swipe feature. I believe it's on the homepage where you
thank you.
swipe left and right.
Thank you.
Really, really cool to see, because especially in your space, right? More so is you really need to show the benefits, but physically show them, have people talk about them. Hey, it's such a before and after product, right? And like the more before and afters that that you can showcase. Is that something that is a struggle to get from the consumer, or are people like gladly sending you guys, you know, before and afters? How is that whole channel set up in regards to like gaining that?
I mean, we love our customers, you know, as I'm sure you do too. Like we love
Yeah.
it. And yeah, people send us photos all the time and we, you know, post them and, you know, it's great. And people are very nice about reviews. I mean, I think people understand the difference between kind of small businesses and startups. And I found
Sure.
people are generally like very, very nice and happy to
Yeah.
help, especially when they believe in the product.
100%. Hundred
And
percent. You
everyone
know,
loves their dogs, you know, like it's not
I
like
know.
like they're like, oh, I don't really want a picture of me on the, you know, but their
Yes.
dog, everyone's like, here's my dog.
It's so true. That's why I never believe on TV, especially those old like infomercials where it was like an acne product or whatever. It's like, did
Mhm.
that person like willingly,
A
is this
hundred
Photoshop? You
percent. I
know?
know.
Like there's no way they just took that out of
I'm
getting
like,
out of the shower.
I totally 100% with
So
you.
what's your next step here, like for Pride and Groom? You know, what's your, 12, 24 month plan here? What are you guys like really excited about, whether it's new product or a new channel, or, what are you guys most excited about right now?
Well, I think, you know, just to keep on the same topic, distribution and getting
Yeah.
into the hands as many people. I mean, 3.5 years, you know, it's like it's still new to the majority of the country, the world. We're trying to get distribution in different parts of the world. I mean, we have a bunch, but you know, trying to get to China and all these other markets. Um, we are well, a lot of our products are totally safe and good for cats, but cat people don't want a dog product that's also good for cats. They want their own products.
Yes.
And we have two products in the works for them because we love our cats too. Again, a different version of the dry shampoo, and we have an amazing brush and some, you know, some things for cats. We also really want to be in the supplement space, but only for coat and skin, everything
Okay.
grooming related.
Sure.
Um, but some, you know, topical products to add to your food that is great for coat and skin. And so we have that in the works.
That's awesome. I think
And
that's
yeah,
actually a really good tip, because we a few years ago we noticed the same thing, right? Where a lot of brands will try to encapsulate the dog and cat in the same product. And it's people are spending so much money on these animals that they want it to be tailored to their pet, right? And not something where it's like, hey, this is great for everyone. It's like, all right, yeah, cut the shit. Like give me something for my cat, right? So that was something
exactly.
that we did, where it's like, all right, well, let's come out with a cat line. So we call it Purr, Purr, and it's essentially
That's
our
cute.
cat formulated like meat recipe, right? And once we did that, we saw the numbers, spike through the roof in regards to reaching the cat consumer. Because before, it's like, but then it's like, wait, you guys just developed a couple lines for me. And that's something I think a lot of people miss in the pet spaces. They try to encapsulate both the dog and cat within the same product, instead of taking the time, energy, and effort to create like two separate lines that align with each other. Yeah, but no,
Exactly.
I'm glad you guys are doing that, because people are gonna love it. I'm telling you right now, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
I think they will, and I think cats, you know, I love, you know, they deserve their own voice,
Yeah,
you know.
100%. 100%. We're actually pretty split here in the office. I would say it's like half cat, half dog people, which is
Oh,
pretty
really?
yeah. And then but then the cat people, they got like six cats. It's like, hey, you can't, how do you
Right,
guys do it? How are you doing that? Don't bring cats in
right,
off the street, right? Cat people are a
right.
different breed. They're a different breed. My
They
mom's
are
a huge cat fan. She'll spend as much money on her cat as some people spend on their, 100 pound
right.
Saint Bernese, but she yeah,
Yeah.
they're very, very passionate for sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we're all passionate about our little babies. I mean, I have 4 dogs, by the way, just to.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And I'm assuming they're all on Pride and Groom. So,
Well,
skin and coat health
obviously,
must be through the roof.
obviously, yeah. We, you know,
Um,
everyone did weird things during COVID, and I just started. I'm on the board of a shelter in New York, and I just started fostering dogs. And you know, I thought they were fosters, but you know, somehow they never left the house.
that was gonna be my next question is,
Mhm.
where you guys from? Are you located out of New York, or?
Yeah, we're all New Yorkers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. You're not too far then. We're right outside of Hartford in Connecticut. So we're
Oh, wow.
we
Right.
produce in Avon, Connecticut. That's where our
Mm-hmm.
USDA family farm is.
Mm-hmm.
And then our distribution
Nice.
center, our offices that I'm at now is in Bristol. So
Got
yeah,
it. Right.
not too far away.
Our stuff, we make all our stuff in Massachusetts.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's all USA made, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So are you in the city? Are you on the in one of the boroughs?
We all live in the city. Our office is in Brooklyn,
Okay.
an industry city. I don't know if you know Industry City. It's kind of this cool, like it's these big old warehouses that have now been converted, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool.
No,
Right
that
on the water.
I'm pulling up the name actually while we're on this. Our director of sales for our retail sales team, him and his wife also own a pet store in Brooklyn. So they live in Brooklyn. Their store does really, really well. I'm trying to pull up the name so I don't butcher it. But yeah, that would be, if you guys aren't already in there, I can connect you guys. They do a really, really good job.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of boutique-y, really, really
love it.
nice pet stores all throughout New York.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
we want to be in all of them. Please
yeah,
connect me.
yeah, I'll connect you after this, but yeah, I think that's great. I think, like I said, this is like one of the reasons why I wanted to start this is, it's even if one person I gain one thing from it, you gain one thing from it, someone that's watching this is like, holy shit, I never even heard of Pride and Groom. I've never even heard of Almost Pride. Like, let me reach out, right? And eventually have it, triple and
Love it.
quadruple on top of each other. So I think, yeah, this is really, really great. I really, really appreciate your time, Jane. Seriously, thank you
No,
so much.
thank you. Thank you for having me. And, by the way, whenever someone starting out is like, what's your one piece of advice? I'm like, talk to anyone who will talk to you, because
Yes.
you will never not walk away with that without a nugget. I got some nuggets that I'm following up with you about. They're in my brain. I'm coming back to you after this call. Like, you never don't get a nugget.
It's so true, because that's like and I think that's the other hardest thing that happened to pet before, is like, it was always the last space to innovate itself. It was always the last space to like be up with the newest trend or like the newest technology, where we're seeing a big shift over, especially independent pet, where people have been in it for 30, 40 years. They're either selling their stores or their next generation, whether it's the kids or family members, are taking over. So we're definitely starting to see a lot more like innovation in regards to like the pet industry in general. But hey, Rob got back to me. It's District Dog.
Okay.
So that's
I want to be there.
That's in your stomping grounds there. That's in
Amazing.
let's see, it's in Brooklyn. I don't know the Brooklyn area well, but it is on Driggs Ave.
I mean, Brooklyn is weirdly huge.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm not.
It's humongous. I mean, it's bigger than Manhattan. Like, it's humongous. It's weird to me how big Brooklyn is, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, check it out, and then I'll connect you guys. It's right near McCarran
Thank
Park.
you. Awesome.
That rings a bell. Yeah. But anyways, Jane, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
Of course. And for anyone listening, check out obviously Almost Pride. Got to give my own little pitch here, but also Pride and Groom. I'll list and put your website link when I post this. It'll be on YouTube. I'll chop up some clips of it, and yeah, and we'll be talking soon. And I really, really appreciate it. I loved it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jane. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Take care.